Another bloody Monday, Brett. How you doing?
The palladium's up.
Okay, we got green and palladium.
Not on the year, but on the day. So that's about it.
So we have 20 days until the end of the year. Mm-hmm. You got to get to $4 just for 1 second.
1 second.
That's all you need.
Are we going to get there?
No, I don't think so. I hope we go $3.99, man.
We're going to get there.
I hope we just ride $3.99.
All we are is one Fed speak away from saying we're not raising rates. We're happy, go lucky. The economy's cruising, and all of a sudden we might get a little momentum, some momentous buying into the end of the year.
If you follow the White House's Instagram, the economy's booming now.
Bidenomics, baby.
If you follow that, but if you want a treat, just go read the comments in that thing. It's kind of fun.
It's fire.
It's kind of fun.
Well, at the end of the day, I mean, you can go by what the government tells you, or you can go by what your eyeballs tell you and what your business tells you. And ultimately, I think these rates have pushed hard enough and far enough that businesses slowed down. I mean, like I said, the scrap industry, our business, we can usually tell what's going on with the economy just by how much are the manufacturers. And this is if you're tied to the manufacturing side, dropping bins, roll-offs, drop boxes. I mean, if that's a big part of your business like it is ours, we can generally tell what the market's doing just by what does our customer volume look like, right? And
we have a good pulse on the market because we can really see, you can kind of get a good picture by the copper value. You can also get a good picture of the flow, like you said, and we can really see. I truly think you can really kind of see it before it happens. You can start to see it.
You can at least see a slowdown, right? Like it's hard for us to predict where the big, big economic hits are going to come from. Obviously, there's people out there that measure things differently. Like, there's the guys that follow commercial real estate. There's the guys that follow the 10-year treasury. There's a zillion different ways to look at it. Obviously, we follow what we know and just what we're kind of in tune with, which is base metal pricing and scrap flow, and that usually tells the tale. The other thing we look at is what are the steel mill activity, because we do a lot of backhauling. Say at a steel mill, we haul rebar, haul, but not only that, we also haul building materials off the West Coast back to Boise
like
Valley,
lumber, right? Like
lumber, shingles, sacked concrete, you name it, right? Well, if that material starts to slow down, then that the local economy, the construction economy, which is really what's been driving our economy in a big way, is slowing down. So combine that with, pipe infrastructure. We're in the retail pipe business. So we sell a lot of HDPE pipe. We sell a lot of corrugated steel pipe. So that really gives us a pretty good pulse, because you need pipe to do construction. Whether we sell it to you or somebody else sells it to you, we kind of know what projects are coming, right? Which then we can gauge off of kind of which doesn't make us necessarily run our business any differently, because it's like a big ship that turns slowly, and you're not turning on a dime. And I'm talking about the economy, but it definitely gives you a pulse on how crazy busy it is, or if it's slowing down. And I'm here to tell you right now, like, the economy is slowing down.
It's definitely slowing down. You see, like, the eyeball test when I'm driving around, going to see customers, going to help go pay people. I still see a lot of building. I see a lot of new builds going up. Is it the craziness it was a few years ago? No. So I think everyone gets so caught up, and I think people get greedy because they think it's going to be that way forever. It's like the 18-year-old that gets a huge NFL contract. He thinks he's going to make that money forever. Same with a lot of these contractors that started a business. They think they're going to make that money forever. A lot of the ones that make it are the ones that are driving a 5-year-old pickup and are comfortable with it, not the ones that are upgrading every year. It's the same concept, like we're gonna survive anything that comes because I got faith in our team, and I'm overly optimistic about everything, but I think we're gonna be all right next year. And I even talking to some of my customers, like they seem pretty confident in next year now. Like it's kind of like the doom and glooms kind of people are used to it. Now all it takes is one big mover, a war, anything big from the Fed to change everything.
It all comes back down to like, how do you measure quote unquote success, or how do you measure growth, right? Are you measuring your growth or slow down off of last year or the last 2 years, which was batshit crazy, or off 2020 COVID year where everything was really interesting and wobbly, or 2015 when the scrap market was shit? Which year are you measuring against, right? And I think, so we did our Christmas party in Oregon this weekend, and we were
for
talking
B&K.
about for B&K, and we were talking about the number of loads they shipped on average per month in 2023, and in a span of 10 years, how far they've came, right? Because we partnered with them in 2020 or in 2013, and this year would be our 10-year. And at that time we didn't have the bigger yard, and we didn't have scrap as part of it. It was just an auto salvage. So we added another yard, and we added the scrap side of it. But how far they came in 10 years. And I was telling those guys, I was like, you guys should be super proud of yourselves, because it really took us 20 to 25 years to get to that volume, And I was like, you guys are really, crushing it, And I was like, so don't ever think that, we're not as big as this guy, or not as, don't do as much volume as that guy. You're just comparing yourself to what you've done, and what you're capable of doing. For them, I'm like, hey, you're farther along than we were.
Yeah.
And it took us, twice as many years plus to get there. So you guys should be patting yourself on the ass, saying great job, versus, wondering how you. So I guess it's just comparative, right? Who you comparing yourself against? What year are you comparing yourself against? What pricing are you comparing yourself against? And ultimately, as far as lasting long, if your owners or your managers or whatever are smart, and they're, putting things in place to be able to survive a slowdown, then you're going to be in good shape. You'll figure it out. But if you're out there buying you're taking a bunch of money out of your business and buying a bunch of bullshit, you might struggle.
Yeah.
That's the way it is, in my opinion.
Okay, did you get any clarity on ferrous? We didn't have it last week.
It was an up market. Depends on the grade. You're seeing some big up moves. Like in the Midwest, some of those markets, they're seeing $50, $60, $70 depending on grade. We're a little more tied to the export market here. So we're not getting that big of jumps on some material. So we're kind of a little more tied. Our hands are a little tighter. But if you're shipping into a hot roll mill, or you're shipping into some of these mills in the Midwest and some of these foundries, you're probably getting some big up money this month.
Wow, that's a big mover.
$60, $70 depends on the grade. So over here we're getting up money, and we're gonna try and push and keep this thing going, this momentum going into January.
Yeah, and if you look at like the fast markets, in end of November to right now, you're seeing 10 to 20 up on grades in the West Coast.
Yeah, we didn't get the love at the Midwest, because we have rebar mills we ship to, right? So A, we're getting hampered by the export market. B, we ship to 2 rebar mills. Rebar is part of construction, which goes back to our previous point.
Yep.
It's not nearly moving at the clip that it once was, the last couple of years. But there's still demand, so we're still hanging in there.
And we'll keep watching the non-ferrous. It's been, in the grand scheme of things, it's been pretty damn sideways for a little while. It's still there. It seems like it wants to run, but then the juice gets pulled out of it. Every week it runs a little, and every Monday gets pulled back out.
Yeah.
So I hope we get $3.99 to the rest of the year, and then, January 1 at $4.50. So
let's make it happen.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Have a great day.